Welcome back to Real-ationship Goals, a podcast all about exploring the realities and complexities of healthy relationships. Real-ationship Goals is a project of the Prevention and Education team at the Advocacy Center for Crime Victims and Children in Waco, Texas. If you or someone you know has experienced sexual violence or harassment and is seeking support services or needs more information, links to resources and our hotline number can be found in the description. The views expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of their organizations or affiliates.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Real-ationship Goals. So today's episode we have another community partner spotlight, and we are your host. My name is Ariana. I use she, her pronouns.
My name's Elsie. I use she, her pronouns.
And then we have our guest.
I'm Marlayna. I use she, her pronouns.
She, her pronouns? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I'll start us off with the first question. So Marlayna, would you like to tell us and everybody about your journey working with youth?
Yeah, and you guys let me know if I just go too far and too long. And so I'm from Waco, and I'm born and raised Waco, Texas. Went to Waco ISD schools, elementary school through high school. And I've always just been influenced by leaders in the classroom, leaders in the community. And so really my senior year of college, I became an intern at the MAC program at Waco Foundation. And that's really where I got like a first peek of the struggles that some of the youth in our city go through. And ever since then, I was inspired to work with youth. So I became a teacher at University High School. I, during COVID, stayed home with my little one and then transitioned back to Waco Foundation, where I'm now the director of the program that I was an intern at. So
cool.
It's now called Duncan Scholars. And so that program, we help students from high school all the way through college. We support them with full tuition funding, but not just full tuition funding. We provide those one-to-one services. We're trying to make sure that this student gets from point A to point B, and making sure that they fully graduate, not just start college, but complete it as well.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, question 2. What surprises you about the youth that you work with or have worked with?
Oh, okay. This was probably one of my favorite questions when y'all sent it to me. Because I think there's one of the things that really surprises me about youth, and you guys can probably attest to this too, is that the students who have the most difficult situations are the ones who have the most perseverance. They can persevere, they work so hard, and they're usually the ones that come in and I'm like, well, what else can I do to help you? Because they're just so determined, and it's really just an inspiration, and also just kind of an eye-opening experience as well to kind of recognize the privilege that I have just as, you know, a person who has basic needs, and this person who probably doesn't have basic needs, or who has unfortunate circumstances going on in their lives, and they are just prevailing. And I think that's probably one of the biggest surprises to me, is that if I were in their shoes, I probably would not have graduated college. I probably would not have, you know, made all of my dreams come true. And so they really just inspire me, really, because they just work so hard, and I really look up to our kiddos.
Yeah, I also really love, I mean, obviously I haven't been working with youth for as long, but I feel like generational change, I guess, like nowadays people are so much more accustomed and like open to asking for help, whereas like, I don't know, I feel like my parents would always be like, back in my day, like I would have just like pulled myself up, and I'm like, okay, but you don't have to do that anymore, type of thing. And so I'm really glad that you're able to help people who are actively like looking for it and wanting that.
Yeah, and it's still kind of hard to get them to ask for help every once in a while, and you have a good mix of kiddos who who aren't afraid to ask, but then you have those who you have to kind of pry it out of them. And, and that comes with just building that trust with the person that you're working with and making sure they understand that you're here for them and you're here to support them. And, there's no other reason why we are here. And so once that trust is built, then we're able to really dig deeper and figure out like what are some things that might be preventing us from being successful.
Yeah, this is not a question on here, but I want to ask it anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Duncan Scholars, about how many kids you guys kind of walk through with that each year?
Yeah, so we actually restructured the MAC program into Duncan Scholars in 2022.
Okay.
And so we started with our first cohort with the new programming with our 2023 seniors. And so we have 3 cohorts currently at MCC or in university. And then we have 1 cohort that's currently in a senior in high school.
Okay.
So we are not at full capacity yet. Next year we will be. We will have all 4 cohorts at the college level, and then we'll have a cohort at the high school level. Currently we have 100 students at MCC, and then we have between the 2 high schools around 60 to 65 students.
So lots
combined.
of kids.
Lots of students.
Lots of students.
And it's just 2 of us that do
wow.
all this work. But I mean, it's so rewarding and we love it so much. I mean, I really don't come away with many complaints just because just to see the progress that our kiddos are making and the successes that they have, it's such a rewarding job to have for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you said it's only 2 of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is also not a question on the list.
No, you're
but
good.
I just want to know,
Ask
and I'm
away.
curious, like, how do you guys manage to like give that undivided attention or try to give that undivided attention between all those students that you do offer services to?
Yeah, that is a hard one. And that actually is one that we're kind of getting to the breaking point of like, we're reaching this capacity where we're not able to do that all the time these days. And so this is where we're kind of realizing, okay, we need to make a strategic move, maybe get another coordinator, that type of thing. So we're working on that right now. But for the most part, what we do is for the high school students, we focus really on building those relationships first. So, and they're checklists, because if you guys can remember being a high school or senior in high school, you have a lot of things to get done as a senior, like from FAFSA applications to college applications to scholarship applications to understanding what financial aid is. How do you register for classes? There's so many things that so much content that our kiddos need at the senior level that we don't really dig really, really deep until we get to that college level. And so at college level, students schedule appointments to meet with us, and that's where we really start to dig deep and see what are some circumstances that are going on with our students. Of course, we're still asking those questions to our seniors, but really we don't see them start to open up as much until after they graduate from high school.
That's fair. I can only imagine being so overwhelmed.
It's a lot of different things going on with a short window.
Yes, yeah.
So the 3rd question, we're on the 3rd question, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So can you give us an example of a success story that you've had with youth you worked with?
Yeah, I think that there's many to choose from. I think I'm going to go with one that I was just reminded of today. So we require students to meet with us twice per semester. And so we check in with them, make sure life is going okay. And the very first year, we had a kiddo who just had some unfortunate circumstances happen in their life. And that ended up with their classes not going so well. And understandably, that happens. And so, and this is really, I told this person today, you were just like the prime example of how programming like this works, because this person might have failed, but they still prevailed, right? They still got back up, they dusted themselves off, and they still prevailed. Now, they probably needed resources, they probably needed to connect with some, people in the community and things like that, but we didn't give up. And that's like the biggest testament that I have for the program and then for our kiddos is that we're not letting them give up that easy. Like, yes, circumstances will happen. Yes, this is, there might be situations where maybe you do have to take a break from school. Maybe you do have to go to school part-time. But we're trying to be as understanding as possible and making sure that our students are being successful. So this student in particular has really just improved on grades, improved on what they're accomplishing, and I think the biggest reward is that they're not giving up.
I love that. Yes, that always sounds wonderful, because it's like having that balance of being able to be understanding of like the youth and students you work with. Like, life sometimes be lifing, and different elements can alter like how they perform in school, and things of like that, and sometimes even how they feel personally. So just you being able to be there for them and being that support system for them, I feel like that is very important to just like a staple in the youth's life, to let them know like, hey, we're not gonna let you give up so easily. Just because you might have had a bad moment right now, that doesn't mean that defines your whole entire life.
Absolutely.
So, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, especially in college, because like I feel like I tell this story all the time, but like I had never failed a test until college, and like so I like that was devastating to me, and so like failing, I just really hate failing in general, but like I feel like most people do.
Yeah.
And so like it honestly must have taken a lot of strength to be like, hey, I'm dealing with this, and that's why this is happening, because I promised that like I can't do it, type of thing. So that just takes a lot of courage from them, and I'm honestly proud of you guys that you had that relationship, that he felt comfortable, or they felt comfortable saying that. I don't know if it's a he.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
But
we do see a lot of that too, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of, okay, if I fail, then it's over. And that's the kind of mindset we're trying to get them out of, is, it's okay to fail. And I was the same way in college. Like I was very like high performing, but we fail tests sometimes. We fail, and really those are the times that we grow. And so it's hard kind of telling the student in the moment, like, no, this is good. Like, this is a growing piece for you. I'm excited for you. And they're like, why are you excited that I failed? But this is really like, it's a good test to who they are and to like how much they can take. And my dad had always told me this from the very beginning. He would always tell me, college is not about, or your education and your future is not about how smart you are. And yes, we do need to study and we do need intelligence, but really it's about endurance. How much can you take? How far can you go? How much of a marathon can you keep on running? And that has always stuck with me. And I do take a lot of pride in, like, I probably was not the smartest person in high school, right? But I worked my butt off. Yeah. And that's where most of my pride comes from, is like, I'm gonna work hard regardless of what happens. And so that's what we're really trying to get through to them is, it's okay to fail sometimes, and we're gonna be there for you when you do. And I think that's something that's also rare to find, because a lot of times, we do put pressure on our youth to be a certain way or achieve a certain thing. And so sometimes that comes with shame when they do fail. And so we really try to approach with just a sense of empathy for our kiddos. But then also we do want to still hold them to expectations and make sure that they're successful. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I always, like, accountability doesn't have to be rough, I guess. I was on the equestrian team at Baylor, and so a lot of the like older teammates, like when I first got there, like accountability was like, you will do it this way, not like, let me help you do it this way type of thing. Yeah. And so it was a rough learning curve.
Oh yeah.
But we got to it in the end. Okay. How has working with youth changed you? Also, can I borrow your pen really fast, please? Thank you.
I think working with youth has changed me in a way that makes me more self-aware, and more sure of who I am as a person and my values. And I really think, and where I'm going with this is that growing up, I was always like a very sensitive person. My parents would be like, oh, stop crying, you're sensitive, all those things. And I didn't realize until I got to the point of working with youth that's empathy, right? That is such a strength that some people don't have. And I think working with youth and being able to sit down with a student and be like, trying to figure out what the issue is, what their problem is, and how to help them, and to really relate to what a circumstance that our student is going through, helped me kind of lean more into that strength that I do have. And that is really just having just space and providing that empathy for our kiddos to, again, be successful. I feel like I'm like a broken record. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Fine. I love what you're saying. It sounds like it just drives your passion even more to work with youth. Just being able to be that safe space and have them also, like, in difficult times and very happy times, have that vulnerable moment with them is very, very important. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, usually most of the times, like if we go through like, a bump in the road or something and we see them thrive, I'm like, I'm sorry if I cry. Like, it's just like who I am as a person. It's fine. Like, I'm fine. But it just means that I really do care about, what I do and the success of the program and our kids. And I just want them I want to see them be great and, do the things that we're doing right now and, tell their lives, tell a story of their lives and what they went through. So.
Yeah, and it's my turn. So what do you think the youth need right now to be more supported?
Yeah.
Dream really, really big.
Yeah, when I saw this question, I was like, ooh, like I can dream big on this one. I think in a perfect world, if every single individual youth or person of youth had a personal mentor or had someone that worked individually with them or someone that they can text with no judgment, or they can send a message with no judgment and say, hey, I just failed a test, or hey, I just made a really bad decision and I'm paying the consequences for it. If we could provide one person per youth, I think we would see a night and day difference in the successes of our youth right now. We would see higher graduation rates. We would see more college degrees. We would see them going into, higher or positions that require higher degrees and those types of things. But if we could just all dedicate, just a piece of our time towards mentoring another person of youth, I think it would go such a long way.
Yes, I believe that because, they would benefit so much from a person that has already been through the experience of maybe going to college or whatever form of education that person may have had. Just having a person being able to guide you through the difficult times, holding you accountable, like, hey, you got that test to study for today, so don't forget. just having someone simply do that is very inspiring, and I feel like it would be a big shift towards more youth wanting to pursue different degrees, more education, and also maybe help them, personally, how they feel about themselves. Like, hey, I did this, I accomplished this with the help of somebody just simply believing in me,
right.
Someone caring about me enough to just be there.
Right.
So I think that is wonderful. That is a very, very positive dream. I love that.
Well, even because I was thinking about like, wow, I wish that I could have done that in high school and especially college, of like just having somebody to text that like had understood it. Like, because like obviously I texted my mom, but like she didn't go to college, so like she like when I told her I failed the test, she was like, it's okay, and I was like, no, you don't get it. But like, I mean, honestly, she probably did get it because I'm failed tests are okay, but like I was like, you don't get it, you don't know what's going on. Yeah, that was the worst.
Sometimes I feel like too, like we want to hear it from someone else, right?
Yes.
Like we don't, like sometimes.
100%.
I love my parents, but you know, it's kind of like coming from, you know, the school leader or you know, someone else from the outside who you see believes in you, and it gives you that sense of confidence, like, oh, this person thinks I can do it,
and just one more person to add to your community too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Community is so big, especially for our program and just all of Waco, all of the success of Waco. I mean, we would not be able to have the successes that we have right now without every single community partner that we've ever had come speak to our kiddos. Monica came and spoke to our students last summer, done workshops for them, mentored them. I mean, hired some of our students, you know, and I think it's really a community effort. It really does take a village.
Well, even like with just like community events that we go to, or like wellness days at school and all the things, like I'm from Washington, and I think I've told every single person that I've worked with down here, like Washington would never do this. Like there's just so much community here that honestly, it's kind of rare. It's really awesome, but like a lot of other places don't have something like that, or maybe they did and I was just super out of the loop. But I like to think not. I like to think it's special.
That is true. That I think, yeah, Waco is a special place for that, for sure.
Okay, last question. If a young person was listening right now, what would you want them to take away?
I would want them to know that, oh gosh, there's so many different messages that I want to send out.
Oh, list them all.
Well, they first need to work hard, and they're ultimately responsible for their own future. So yes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? We can give them all the resources we can, but you're the one that needs to put in the work and the effort for you to be successful, and you're going to need to know that. Or you're going to need to motivate yourself for that. Another kind of issue that I've been kind of seeing is just there's been maybe a lack of motivation for some of our youth, and I really think if we took a step back and had our youth identify what their values are, why are you doing this? Why are you going to college? Why are you setting these goals? And go deeper than just like, I want to make a lot of money, right? Like, why? Like, who are you trying to support? Are you wanting to be independent? Are you, and so really just trying to narrow down what those values are. So know what your values are. That will motivate you, and it'll get you so much further than anything else, but also just holding yourself accountable and working hard is so important.
Yeah, the values, honestly, I feel like is really difficult. Like when we were on the team, like we always had to be like, what's your why? Like, why are you here doing this? Like, why are you a D1 student athlete? And like, for a really long time, I was like, I don't know why I'm here. I just wanted to. Like, it took me a few years before I was like, oh, like I get it. Like, this is what I wanted. So yeah, no, I think that is really important. And that's something that they should ask themselves very young.
Right.
So that they can figure it out. And like, if it changes, that's okay too. But like,
totally okay.
You need to give yourself the opportunity to be like, this is it for at least a little bit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So those are all our questions for today. Does anybody have anything that they want to add before we move on to the relationship goal? I I can give out the relationship goal. I seen you writing, but I
I
don't
was
know.
going to say, I also have one too if you want.
Oh, Elsie, take it away.
Okay. Okay, so the relationship goal, I'm pretty sure that, honestly, we might have done this one before, but I added a little tweak to it, so I like to think that it's new. But the relationship goal is going to be to check in with the youth around you and specifically ask, like, how can I help? Or, like, give them an opportunity to say, I need help with this, rather than waiting for them to invite you in type of situation. Or instead of asking directly, like, how can I help? Like, if you see somebody's tired, like one of your friends are tired, be like, let's go watch a movie and, like, you can hang out at my place and, like, I don't know, we can take a nap. I don't know if that's weird, but, like, I would sleep on my friend's couch all the time, so, like, maybe it's okay. But just stuff like that. Or, like, if they look like they need a little bit of community, get your friends together, go to a restaurant or something. Just be able to, like, kind of be in touch with yourself and with others so that you can kind of judge what they need. Mm-hmm. I feel like that was just like a roundabout situation.
That was really, really good. That was wonderful. And then Marlayna, we always let our guests do the recommendation. Doesn't have to be related to the episode, but if there's something that you want to recommend.
And I'm sorry, I did not think about this question.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Golly. I feel like in my spare time, I read a lot of, like, just fiction books, not nonfiction. So I'm like, I don't really have, like, a nonfiction or, like, a podcast that I really listen to. I think one of the recommendations so it's not really like a recommendation for like a certain content, like a book or anything. One thing that I would recommend just for community to do, or for specifically our youth to do, and this is something that we talk about with our students, is do some self-compassion work. And so whether that looks like opening a journal and talking to yourself like you were your best friend, right? Like, and saying, like, you did such a great job doing this and this, and I'm so proud of you, and just kind of encouraging that positive talk that we have with ourselves. I think that can go such a long way, and especially with our students who probably do have a lot of self-doubt, just kind of that helps build so much confidence. It's just really increasing that self-compassion work within themselves. So I would say that.
Wonderful recommendation. I need to practice that myself. But if that's everything, thank you so much for coming and talking with us today. And for our viewers out there, if you want to get more advocacy content, you can follow us on our social medias. We have a Facebook page, Advocacy Waco, as well as on Instagram. And then if you want more P&E content, follow us on our Instagram at ACCVC_prevention. I always get tripped up on that one. And then we also have a TikTok. Is it the same thing?
Yep, same username.
Same name. Okay. But other than that, we just want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Real-ationship Goals. This episode was produced by the Prevention and Education Department of the Advocacy Center for Crime Victims and Children in Waco, Texas. Interested in more content from P&E or the Advocacy Center? You can follow us on Instagram at ACCVC_prevention or on Instagram and Facebook at Advocacy Waco. Be sure to like this episode and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Bye.